Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Aviation podcast. We are not 6 months later, as promised in the last one, which was in July. My co-host Husky Gaming 365 is with me. This is CMH Aviation. Today's update's going to be another Max update because yes, we have one, and it's actually good news. And then whatever we feel like talking about.
Yeah, and apparently, recently Boeing has conducted a test flight with the director of the FAA, and apparently the director approves. So that's really good news.
Yes,
That
however,
there's still some
we
things
must
being
say
worked
yes.
on in the background,
There's
but
a lot of crap going on in the background.
however,
He,
the flying part
the flying
was an
part,
A
he
plus.
liked.
Yeah, that was an
However,
A plus.
he is not to the point of approving it yet, but it sounds like we are definitely getting closer to that point. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, i.e., paperwork that still needs to happen.
Paperwork and probably some
Paperwork and
documentation,
update
notes.
manuals and what update all the flight manuals and whatnot with the airplane. But it has flown with him in command. He even went through the simulator training and whatnot before he took the command of an actual Max, so he knew what he was getting himself into ahead of time.
And apparently the flight was an A plus.
Not necessarily an A plus. It was definitely better than what it had than some of the other test flights.
An A minus.
Because it'll be what, 2 years, 2 or 3 years next year since they grounded it,
I think so because I think
somewhere in
they
there.
grounded it. I think because it was grounded in March of
Last year, I think.
2019.
So essentially, if it is still grounded come March of next year, it'll be 2 years
Yeah.
since it's been grounded. And unfortunately, just because you hear or see or whatever, or you rely on us to tell you that is, just because it comes out that it's been recertified, don't expect it to see it very quickly. Coronavirus doesn't help this any, and
No,
airlines
it's
aren't just, airlines like Southwest and whatnot, they may slowly start to filter them back into their lineup on some of the routes, but
well.
it's not
Now
going
I
to be
say
an
when he says
overnight, all of a
slowly,
sudden
we
change.
mean now when he says slowly, we mean slowly,
Like, this is
very
going to
slowly.
take weeks, if not months, for all the airlines to have every single one of them back in service.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So, don't be freaked out when you're on Flight Radar or Open AD or on ADSB or whatever flight tracking source you use, and you only see one or two, maybe even 4 or 5, and it's all different airlines. It's going to take time,
It is because each and every single one of those aircraft have to have the updated systems installed and
and
put in.
plus, they've been sitting for
And
2 years, so maintenance has to do all
they have
their
they
storage,
have
has
fuel.
to redo all their
They've
in
got to do
service checks.
oh yeah, all the reservice checks. They got to make sure the lighting and equipment and electricals
Because what
work.
most
They
of
got
you
to
probably don't
train them.
realize, and this is a good hole into parked airplanes, these airlines have to turn these airplanes on every so often to keep the stuff running.
Hmm.
Just because they're parked, they're not necessarily powered off.
No.
These mechanics, even if they don't start the engines, have to at least go in and turn the battery on and flip all the screens on. They can't just leave these airplanes dormant, not turned on. It's not good for them.
No. And then of course, what doesn't help is they're gonna have to drain the aircraft of the fuel that's possibly in them because that fuel's gone old, and the longer fuel sits into an aircraft or a car, the older it gets and the more gunky it gets,
And
and
don't,
that's
another thing is, if you see videos out there of them from outside the fence, of course, of it starting up, or even Boeing videos of one starting up, don't be surprised if it's a little smoky.
oh yeah.
don't be surprised, or even with Airbus, with the airplanes that are parked and Embraer, don't be surprised if the first few times these airplanes are back in service, the engines are a little smoky on startup.
Oh yeah.
Some of these airplanes have been sitting for a long time now. And that's also another segue into, I think it was, actually, my phone's right here. Let me look. I want to say it was the 4th episode we ever did, the future of multi-engine.
Yeah.
And
But before we get into
unfortunately,
that, something else I want to take
a
point out.
correction, it was actually
Oh.
episode number 5.
Oh.
I just looked. But what we're going to go into now is kind of a good connecting endpoint to that episode. If Husky
Yeah.
wants to start it off.
So multi-engine aircraft. The only
3
multi-engine
engines or more,
aircraft.
that is.
Yeah,
Just to
3 engines
clarify.
or more. The only aircraft with 3 engines that ever fly now is mostly just cargo, like the DC-10,
The well,
11,
DC,
the
you get the
747.
occasional DC-10. It's a lot of MD-10s, MD-11s,
Oh, it's
old
mostly
DC-10s
cargo.
that
Oh yeah.
where they put
Oh
the
yeah.
glass flight decks and whatnot in them.
Mhm. Yep. The
And
glass
same
cockpit.
with 4 engines. Yes, there's a couple of airlines still flying the 748, and unfortunately, no A380s and no A340s.
But unfortunately, the era of four-engined passenger jets
Is essentially over
coming to a close.
because
And
Lufthansa has already said they're done with the A38. Originally, Lufthansa, and this thanks to DJ's Aviation for this, by the way. He had said in one of his videos that they were just going to stop the 340s and the 380s. Just pull the plug on those, and now it sounds like they're just pulling the
now
plug
it's
on all of
they're
them.
pulling the plug on all of them. This includes
380s,
all
340s,
of the eight, all of the
74s.
747-8s. Every 747-8 is going,
I
because that's
haven't
the
heard
final.
I don't know what Korean's doing with their Dash 8s, if they're keep 74 Dash 8s, that is. What their plans are, and I don't know if does Asiana have any Dash 8s? If they do, I don't know what their plans are, that is.
No, Asiana doesn't. The biggest thing Asiana has is, I want to say, an eight. I think they have A380.
Yeah, they've got 380s, but whether they're flying them right now.
I don't know. They're probably not because of what's going on. So they're probably going to be the next airline to get rid of them.
I
I know
haven't
that
heard.
all the pond that just got theirs.
I was
They're
about to
not
say, I
flying.
don't know what On the Pond's doing with theirs, and Emirates
I
and Etihad really can't do anything major with theirs because that's a majority of their fleet.
Yeah. So that's which is why they're still trying to decide if they want
And
the
Emirates, and here's the thing,
39
Emirates
and
really
the
can't do anything right now
no.
because
They
besides
just
the
can't.
A380s, I mean, they're all like older generation 777s.
Oh yeah.
And they really can't phase these out until they start getting the X whenever that's actually going to be delivered.
Not even the X, but the
The
A330,
NG
the A330
300s and
Neo,
whatnot.
the A330 Neo, and the A350s. They're still trying to decide on.
So, yes, well, it is absolutely sad that we aren't going to see any supers anymore on radar and whatnot and all that. It's not going to be an overnight change. It's going to take time for them to all fully be out of service because these airlines are going to want to make sure they've got airplanes that fleet-wise currently that are suitable to replace them until they can get the new ones in. That is. What else?
Uh, well, looks like Boeing has made a big top executive decision to
Uh-oh.
move the Dreamliner
Oh,
put on
yeah. I forgot
Port
about this
Charles.
one.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now, oh boy,
The repercussions of that one are going to be big.
yeah, oh
They,
boy,
in
oh
case you
boy.
missed what he said, because I was talking over him. 787 production is moving strictly to Charleston, South Carolina. That they are
Yep,
pulling them out of Seattle.
yep. The Dreamliners will no longer be built in Everett. Uh-oh. That
And
was a problem. That's a
yes,
mistake.
that is a problem. Because I this could be a complete BS fact, but I wouldn't be surprised if most of the financial income and the economy up there is Boeing. You know, they're a big part of the Everett, Seattle area. They've been up there, I think, since they
They've been up there for
began.
years.
I think since
Oh
Boeing's
yeah.
been a thing and built that factory up there, which, fun fact, was built specific at the time, was built specifically to produce the 747, because when the 74 was unveiled, they didn't have anything big enough.
No,
And
the Everett
they were
Aviation
building
facility.
74s, and that factory was being built around it as they were
Yeah,
building
yeah.
the
And
74.
the facility in Everett is the largest Boeing facility ever built.
I think it's the largest production facility in the world. In fact, I think it's so tall they get clouds in the ceiling. They get clouds in the ceiling.
Oh yeah, if fog can form in the building.
It a 747 on its wheels, not up on jacks or anything, on its wheels is that tall.
Yeah, and it's just. I mean, I know Boeing. It's bad enough. Boeing's already gone through enough hell and high water dealing with the Dreamliner issue,
And the
but
Max
they're taking
issues.
and yeah, and the Max
And for those who don't know what
and
he means by Dreamliner issues, the Rolls-Royce Trent 1000.
oh my god, yeah, you got Norwegian asking for freaking money because
Of an issue that's not even Boeing's fault.
no, so
We're not even going to get into that because I could start raging right now about that.
no, it's pretty much all it is just Norwegian being childish, but it doesn't help that they've been going through Dreamliner issues and issues with the Max, and then the slight issue with the NG series 737s.
I think they
Well,
got that slot issue fixed though. Unless there's new issues with the current
there was
NGs that I don't know about.
there was a recent new issue that came up with something with the fact that some of the NGs have been in storage because of hashtag COVID. There was an
Um,
issue with I think it was something with like the fuel pumps
well, that's not good.
or something to do with the compressors to where if the
Or the
issues
Freon compressors,
yeah
whatever they
or
call
yeah
them.
something in the engine where if it wasn't being fixed or attended to, it could result in a full-on compressor stall, which would result in the inability to restart the engines.
Oh.
Yeah,
And on the
but
topic of long hauls and whatnot, for those of you who don't know what Project Sunrise is, and Husky knows where I'm going with this,
yeah,
Project Sunrise is an initiative by Qantas, and right now I think they're still doing research flights on the 787. Their goal is to do London to Sydney, double sunrise, double sunset, 19 and a half hours, essentially like 20 hours straight through. It's even longer than the Newark Singapore flight. They
yeah,
have, and this news is like hella old now, but they have come out and said they will be choosing the A350 1000 for that service.
yeah. Which is weird because they did the test flight in the Dreamliner, so that's kind of a little backwards. But
What their choice? If they think long run the 350 is going to save them money on that route, more power to them. And also, I just saw it was in a group on Facebook. Did I send you a screenshot of it? Something to do with Delta and their
uh,
retirement plans.
oh my gosh, Delta is pretty much
Also,
putting
Cebu, no, Garda Indonesia has painted a mask on one of their 330 Neos. And I'm
yeah,
assuming that's because of cargo locks. This is Aero News Solutions. This was shared in a local group I'm in on Facebook. Delta Airlines will officially have all their 717, all their CRJ2s out by December of 23. All their 76s and 717s will be out of service by December of 2025. So there's more airplanes getting kicked out, but not for a long time. And we've already had to deal with the gut-wrenching blow that the MD-80 is no longer a thing. So seeing its baby cousin, the 7-1, out of service in 5 years is going to be weird.
It is.
I mean, it's already weird enough that we don't get the Mad Dog as it is. Yes, that airplane was loud as heck, and I really wasn't a fan of the noise, but now the airport's too daggone quiet.
They are.
Like, it was weird not seeing Americans MD-80s, and then it was like, oh, we still have Delta, but now that Delta doesn't even have them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you go to the airport, and it's like, there's no MD-80s on the schedule anymore. Like, it's so weird.
Nope, because they all sent them out to Arkansas.
In fact, I'm in another Discord I'm in. I don't. This might have been a Simply Aviation. Apparently, Ryanair is working on a max order. Is working on striking a massive deal on a crap ton of maxes. Let me see if I can find that.
They're trying to, or they're
Yeah,
trying to
they're
order
considering the
Maxes.
max.
Oh, great! Yeah, great. Another plane for them to tear up.
And all jokes aside, yes, Ryanair lands hard. We're not being mean. We're not trying to be rude about them. That's the one thing that they're comically known for is their rough landings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, apparently Delta has seat blocking policies.
Seat blocking.
I'm assuming it's the middle seat
Oh.
for the whole distancing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Delta apparently has A223s now. The 3 series of 220s.
Interesting.
Which, do we know if the Gemini one, the one Gemini Jets made, is real? Or is that a fake?
The A220-300?
Yeah.
I'd have to run the tailcoat through FlightAware, but if it comes back to an actual aircraft, then yeah, it's the real thing.
Yep. Low-cost carrier Ryanair is eyeing an order for 150 to 200 of Boeing's still grounded 737 MAX jets before the end of the year. The Irish Independent newspaper reports Dublin-based Ryanair is considering a mix of 737 MAX 200s, which the MAX is in the 8 and 9 variant.
Wait, you said the 737 MAX 200?
Yeah, but
Damn, that's a 200 seat. That's a 200 seat model.
Jesus. Oh, 737-80-200, essentially. And MAX 10s.
Wait, they're getting the MAX 200 and the MAX 10.
Apparently, according to... Jesus, but get this. If they were to do 150 jets, keep in mind this is in US currency, so you may need to convert it. 18.7 billion list price.
Jesus Christ.
However, they could get up to half off because they're buying in bulk.
Oh my, that's insane.
Oh, but this is pending MAX certification, that is. So, we'll see how well that goes. I would love to see that another airline's considering more Maxes, because that's what Boeing needs, is for people to be like, I don't care what happened. The past is the past, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what Boeing needs right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot more good in them than the Max. It's just everyone, when it comes to Boeing's like, oh, let's focus on the Max. No, there's a lot more to them than the Max. Unfortunately, that was one of those things where there was a glitch in the system. They didn't know about it until, unfortunately, it was too late twice.
Mm-hmm.
That's that was just one of those deals.
Yeah, it is, and
It
hoping things will
sucks,
change in
but
the future.
they're learning. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Was it you who told me? Oh, something about. I'm surprised that they haven't come up with a replacement for the 7.5 yet. Considering that airplane's a tank.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe it's me. Oh yeah, and by the way, they still build 767s.
Oh.
Yeah, the freighter variant. That's it. They only build 767 freighters.
Yeah.
Do you have anything Airbus related?
Uh.
Because it seems like this has been a legitimate Boeing episode again.
I don't think there really is. Oh wait, actually, yes, there is something Airbus related, and I did mention this on someone's stream about this. But Airbus is coming up with a new line of aircraft codenamed Zero E.
Oh great, so we're gonna have battery powered airplanes like Formula E?
No, hydrogen.
Oh.
hmm It's going to be a line that consists that of planes that's run on hydrogen. And there's three prototypes that they have in mind. One being a turboprop, the other being a turbofan, and the other being a blended wing design. Uh, and they're hoping to try to get the program in full speed by 2035. So
Good for them.
yes. Now keep in mind. Now something else to also keep in mind is that this is a program that they are not doing alone. They're in talks with airlines, other corporations, airports, um, pretty much a whole list of agencies and other departments and stuff to try to aid in the production and research of the Zero E line.
And you know what? I'm surprised it's taken someone this long to come up with an emissions free, or try to come up with an emissions free airplane.
Yeah, it has taken
Honestly.
a while. It has taken a while for someone to actually start thinking of an idea, but I'm kind of the idea of a zero emissions aircraft. I wonder how that's gonna work out.
I'm interested in that too.
hmm
And on the topic of, talking with airports and whatnot, rumor has it CMH is due for a complete rebuild.
hmm
Yeah. So the current John Glenn, bear in mind they're still finishing up the new rental car place, but I guess this rental car place is part of a much bigger redesign. Like, if you look on Flight Radar, and you know this, Husky, because you've seen the layout. You know how there's the terminal, there's A6, and then there's all that, like, lane aviation and whatnot?
The Lane Aviation hangars.
All that would go, and that's where the new terminal would be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I guess they wouldn't have completely rebuild the airport. Which I guess you can't fault them. Oh, another thing is, I guess they're turning the OG original Columbus Airport, the little one room building, the little, like, one room terminal. I guess they're gonna turn that into some, like, historical building. So they're actually gonna make use of it.
Interesting.
Other than that, I don't have anything else. And typical us, we've talked for almost
Run out of
30 minutes
ideas.
again.
Yeah, we've talked and now we've run out of ideas.
Yeah, it's been 25 minutes. I just looked down at the
Yeah.
timer.
Well, that's all, folks.
Yep, like he said, I think that's gonna conclude this one. Again, like I said at the beginning, we haven't gone 6 months between episodes. I think we've only gone, yeah, it'll be a little over 3, a little over 2, which isn't bad
No.
considering.
Yeah.
Hope you are all keep hanging in there during these rough times. I know
Yeah. It is, man. Y'all just
it's
please make sure that you are
6 foot or
socially
2 meters for those who don't
distanced.
understand.
Yes,
The us
please make
weirdo
sure you
Americans who use feet and not meters.
yeah, please stay please.
Socially distance yourself.
Please socially distance yourself. Wear a
Face
face mask,
covering.
okay? It's not that hard, okay? It really isn't. I know it's a lot to deal with right now, but seriously, listen to the medical experts. They're trying to tell you
If you're here in the States,
that
don't listen to you know who. We're not even
no,
going to talk about him, but don't listen to you know who.
no, no. Do follow your conscience, please.
Yeah,
It's better to follow your conscience. If staying 6 feet
few
apart,
meters.
wearing a face mask, always making sure that you're washing your hands, please.
You
That's
know,
it's
avoid
it,
the
it
avoid high. I know the whole the high density volume of people areas are kind of been
yeah,
shut down, but try to avoid the areas of high density traffic, especially close quarter human traffic.
yeah,
You
because
know,
it's already bad enough. We've had over 200,000 people perish from this virus. We
yeah,
don't
but is
need
that worldwide or is that like U.S.
that's
alone?
in the US we have had over 200,000 people die from COVID-19.
Good grief!
And it's not worth it. It really isn't. Friends and family have been torn apart from it, and it would just mean the world if everyone did their part
Yes, and
and just listen to the medical experts.
not to
They
end
don't do
this.
the jobs they do for a living for nothing. They really don't. What they're saying is 100% true and 100% legit.
And not to end this on a sad note, but apologies, there hasn't been an update with the new model airport layout. I'm still debating on if I want to do one now or wait until I get the second terminal. Spoiler alert, there should be an unboxing video coming. I don't know if it'll be on Friday or not, because this is going up on a Wednesday, so happy Wednesday to everyone. And, whenever you're watching this, hope your day is going well or went well. Same with your week,
Your day or night.
weekend, whatever it may be. If you're in school, if you've started back with your education, good luck. I know some of
It's
you who
not
may be seniors, I feel bad
yeah, it's
that
not easy.
senior year's not going the way it should be.
No, but it'll get better. So
Yep, we'll get better. Hopefully, we'll be back with. Hopefully, the next time we come back, we have even better news with the Max. We'll see though.
hopefully.
One more quick thing. Apparently, Americans 330s are in long-term storage. They have not been retired.
Oh, I wonder what happened with their 757s.
So does that mean their 75s got the same fate then?
I don't know because I haven't seen a single American 757 on
I don't
any
know.
flight tracking app.
I think one of us can do some research into what actually happened to their 75s.
Or if anyone happens to know, leave a comment because I'm
Yeah,
actually curious.
we're
I
curious.
wanna I wanna know what happened with their 757s. Did they retire them or did they just put them in storage?
Like they
Because
did their 330s.
it's been so long since I've seen one. And I thought it was weird because I used to see a bunch of them before all this happened, and now I see none. The only 757s I see are from Delta.
United still got them.
Oh yeah, but I see mostly Delta now.
All right, that's gonna do it for this one. Again, hopefully we're not 2 months between episodes again, but you never know. That could happen.
Yeah, that's what happens when things get slow and
Yep.
we're stuck having to sit inside all day.
Anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully you like the new logo at the bottom right of the screen. I forgot to point that out earlier. I made that like right before the episodes we sat down to record this. Thank you for watching. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below. Ideas you have for future episodes. Be sure to hit the like button to let us know you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see everybody in the next podcast. And I will see everybody in the next video, be it an update video on the model airport with the new layout or future unboxing videos. That's going to do it for us, and take care.